Korean director makes movies about Korea's colonial era. Chronicles of the heroes of the Korean War. Conveying hope through tech skills. Guatemala's war on corruption. Volunteer choir spreads happiness through music. Musical actress who promotes Korea. Hello, welcome to Going Global. I'm your host, Jung Se-mi. There is a woman in the United Kingdom whose nose is worth £5 million. She is cheese grater Diane Cox, and she smells cheese to determine the grade of each batch of cheese. She has been doing this for more than 20 years, and she always pays attention to her health, so she never catches a cold. Cox's employer, White Farms, is paying just over $30,000 a year in premiums to insure her nose. White Farms is a cheddar cheese manufacturer whose history goes back 150 years, and the company ships some 15,000 tons of cheese to around 160 nations. This is arguably a very unique job that requires veteran skills, but I'm sure there are more extraordinary jobs out there that we've never even imagined of. On that note, let's turn to our first story today. There is a Korean who has been documenting the atrocities of the Japanese wartime government for the past decades. She recently made a movie about the Korean victims of sexual slavery during the Japanese occupation who have been fighting to restore their honor for the past 20 years. Let's find out more.
Iok-sun, a victim of sexual slavery by the Japanese army, is engaged in a peaceful protest. Breaking 50 years of silence in 1994, the victims came out and demanded Japan's apology. This is a movie about their 20-year protest, The Silence. The Silence was screened in Japan for the first time in Yokohama.
体験をされながらその中でずっと生きてくださったってことに関して本当にすごいなっていうか。
The director is Park Soo-nam. Park is a second-generation Korean Japanese, and she has been raising awareness about Japanese wartime atrocities for the past 30 years. Her past works include Another Hiroshima, her first movie, which was about the survivors of the atomic bomb that hit Hiroshima, and the Song of Arirang.
2つ水しか年が違わないわけです。だから彼女は私だ、私は彼女なんだという思いがしょっちゅうついてまいりましたね。
The Silence made its Korean debut at the DMZ International Documentary Film Festival.
ハングリたちは完全に歴史の犠牲者だったけど、今歴史を変えようとする主人公になっている。その映画がこの映画ですね。立ち上がる映画、色なん。
Moving on to our next story. There is a Korean grandmother living in the United States who has sought the stories of American veterans who fought in the Korean War. She has compiled their stories in a single book. Let's learn more about her and the book and the veterans.
These soldiers in combat helmets pose in front of a camera. The stories of American veterans of the Korean War were compiled in a book titled The Korean War Heroes 1950. The elderly veterans have reunited to celebrate the publication.
It was an experience that I'll never forget. I'm glad I was part of it, and I'm glad about this book. This is a nice thing to have. I appreciate it a lot.
The publisher is 80-year-old Korean immigrant Han Kyung-nim. Han emigrated to the United States 37 years ago and was always thankful to those who fought for Korea. Last year, she began publishing ads in newspapers to seek out Korean War veterans, all funded from her own pocket. She managed to get in touch with 18 veterans and compiled all their stories in a book.
내 모국 대한민국을 사랑하고 미국을 사랑하고 우리는 지켜야 될 것을 반드시 지켜야만 된다는 그런 결심하에서 이러한 책을 만들게 됐습니다.
Not only veterans, but also their surviving family members were present at the ceremony.
Happy to be here to share this for him. I wish he could be here, but he cannot.
Han believed that someone had to take on the job of recording these stories. Han plans to meet up with more surviving veterans before it's too late.
Our third story. South Africa is considered Africa's greatest economy, but severe rich-poor gaps and high youth unemployment hinder the nation. Recently, a group of Korean volunteers from a major company visited a high school in an impoverished neighborhood and shared their tech skills. Let's find out more.
This is an impoverished neighborhood on the outskirts of Cape Town, South Africa. There's a group of special guests visiting a high school here. There are employees of Korean companies, and they're here to pass on a variety of digital tech skills. Their most popular class is a one about smartphone repairs. The students learn about the structure of a smartphone and how it runs, as well as how to disassemble and reassemble one.
I would love to say thanks to them and appreciate them, and we love them too.
South Africa is the biggest economy in Africa. However, the richest 10% represent almost 60% of all earnings, and youth unemployment stands at 27%. The recent programs taught the latest IT skills to students who are looking into entering the job market soon.
처음에 이제 아이들의 열정에 대해서 정말로 놀랐습니다. 그래서 저희 아이들의 열정에 따라서 저희가 많은 정보를 공유하려고 합니다.
The 26-member volunteer team presented an IT training center to the school on their last day. They also donated computers so that the students can continue upgrading their skills.
Our school is a mathematics, sciences and technology focused school, so therefore we need more of the technological equipments as to empower our learners with skills that will enable them to survive.
With the latest tech skills, the students hope for a better future for themselves.
Shifting our focus to Guatemala for our next story. One of the trending topics in Korea is the Improper Solicitations and Graft Act, also known as the Kim Seon-hyeong Act, that aims to eliminate deeply rooted corruption in society. A similar war against corruption is waging in Guatemala as well. Let's take a closer look.
Former Guatemalan President Otto Perez Molina stood trial in September 2015. He resigned amid charges of bribery and custom fraud with 4 months left in his term. Prosecutors also implicated government ministers who provided the president with bribes worth millions of dollars.
Avaricia, poder, soberbia, dinero. Se lo podía resumir porque si están en el poder las personas no es por convicción de que quieran ayudar o hayan querido ayudar, sino fue por querer tener más.
Guatemala has embarked on a war on corruption. Attorney General Thelma Aldana is at the forefront. She has declared that she will uproot deep-rooted corruption through investigations with no mercy and punishments, with no exceptions.
Creo en un sistema político diferente, donde la población se involucre, donde no hayan partidos políticos corruptos, donde se pueda ejercer la política con libertad.
Aldana was born as the youngest daughter of a poor household in Guatemala, where money and power have been intertwined for a long time. She ascended to her position today after starting as a janitor. She has prosecuted the president who nominated her and dealt with threats against her life, all as part of her drive to uproot corruption in the government.
No importa si es el mismo presidente de la República o si es el señor de enfrente dueño de una tienda. No importa, no debe haber diferencia. Y ese es el mensaje que le hemos dado a la población guatemalteca. Nadie es superior a la ley.
Guatemala ranks low in the Transparency International's Corrupt Perceptions Index. Drug traffickers can bribe police officers and get off without any charges, even if they're caught. At this rate, the gap between the rich and poor will only get bigger.
Digo yo que es muy bueno porque antes ellos no tenían quien los controlara ni nada, en cambio ahora ya la justicia está actuando y ya hay más confianza en los juzgados, en el organismo judicial y en sí en el gobierno.
Que vengan nuevas empresas al país, que confíen en nuestro país para que pueda haber trabajo y todos pues vivamos tranquilos.
Guatemala has taken its first steps towards a society that is fair for all. What changes will this turbulent process bring to the country and the world?
Our next story takes us to Mongolia. A choir of Mongolian children who have never ever seen sheet music before recently took the stage, and the children were trained by teenage volunteers who wanted to spread happiness through music. Let's find out more.
Mongolian children, each with a dream of their own, sing of hope. Elementary school students from the outskirts of Ulaanbaatar, they've never ever seen sheet music before.
Байсан зурагтаар нөгөө найл дууны хүүхдүүдийг үзгээд ингэж нэг дууж үзгэмсэн гэж байнга бодогддог байсан.
19 teenage volunteers were selected through auditions held by global NGO The Miracle Worker and the Korean Ministry of Gender Equality and Family. The children learn proper breathing techniques by blowing balloons. This is their first ever music class, but the students are very receptive.
역시 음악은 언어의 장벽을 넘을 수 있구나 느꼈습니다.
Despite the language barrier, the children open themselves up and enjoy music. The classes lasted for only 10 days, but they created an unforgettable harmony.
Өмнө нь хөгжмийн хичээл жоохон сонирхолтой байсан бол сүүл хөгжмийн хичээлийг сонирхолтой болсон. Тэгээ би дараа жил энэ багш нарыг ирээсэй гэж хүсэж байгаа.
It is time for the last story of the day. What does it take to help others while desiring nothing in return? There is a Korean musical actress in Paris who is doing just that. She will visit anyone who needs support and perform music for them for free. Let's take a closer look.
A woman in hanbok is singing at this French park.
J'ai trouvé que c'était très, très sympathique de voir différentes musiques, de la musique, de la danse et du chant, ancien coréen.
Attachante, on a envie d'aller vers elle. Je ne connais pas le coréen.
The singer is musical actress Kim Seon-hyeong, who has a background in vocal music and has been living in Paris for 4 years. Kim fell in love with French classical music and musicals, and subsequently quit her job and moved to France. Kim wants to sing now while she still has a beautiful voice and give the gift of music to as many people as possible. She will visit anyone who needs comfort, such as victims of terrorism or wounded soldiers, and hold charity concerts for them.
L'argent, évidemment, c'est le plus important. Là, il s'agit vraiment d'apporter de la culture à des gens qui n'ont pas forcément l'occasion d'aller au concert. Donc,
저희들이 따뜻한 또 아름다운 선율을 들을 수 있게 되어서 얼마나 행복한지 모르겠어요.
Kim has been volunteering as a Korean music teacher at the Paris branch of the Sejong Institute. During Chuseok, the Korean Autumn Harvest Festival, Kim made jeon and shared culture with the students.
보람이라고 표현해도 될지 모르겠는데요. 노래 부를 때 마음에 담기는 느낌도 굉장히 풍부하게 작용해서 너무 좋습니다.
Money doesn't matter. Kim believes it's the right path and plans to hold more concerts in the future.
I hope you enjoyed today's stories on Going Global. There are some interesting large-scale works of art in Japan that have made their rounds online. These are rice paddy artworks created during rice planting. After deciding on a design, rice varieties with different colors are planted to correspond to the design. In the beginning, rice paddy art was done for small-scale events. The competition grew among rice producers to develop rice varieties of different colors. And today, rice paddy art is spreading all over Japan as a way of attracting tourists. What started as a simple idea is bringing bigger changes. And I hope that Korea too will come up with some unique ideas to bring in tourists. Now, Going Global will be back next week with more exciting and interesting stories from all around the world. Thank you for watching.